Everyone's talking about NVIDIA Reflex, and you might have seen it in your graphic settings too, and you might have turned it on because why not, right? But here's the actual question. Does it really improve your aim and reaction time? So for that, today we're gonna test NVIDIA Reflex on versus off versus on plus boost in actual game like Valorant, and I'm gonna give you guys real feedback with real gameplay. NVIDIA Reflex reduces system latency, that's the delay between when you click and when your action shows up on a screen. Lower latency is equal to faster response is equal to more accurate shots. For competitive shooters like Valorant, Apex, CS2, this matters a lot. Because if your flick registers even a few milliseconds earlier, that's the difference between clutch and collapse. Before I run tests, let me show you guys how to actually use it, because if your settings is not enabled properly, the reflex won't give you the maximum benefits. Go to your game's video settings or graphic settings, find for NVIDIA Reflex latency, turn it on or on plus boost if your system supports. Reflex runs in background and reduces the system latency automatically. You'll feel the difference when you're playing in the game in how your aim quickly responding. Synthetic tests are great, but I need to feel this in real game environment, so let's just jump into Valorant and test the process. Same drill. Peeking, flicking and target switching. When I used the reflex off, there was a slight input delay. My aim felt like it was trailing behind my hand. When I was using reflex on, the responsive was much more and my flicks were snapping directly to heads. And finally, when I used the reflex plus boost, visual stability improved very gradually. Switching targets felt very effortless. Out of all these options, overall, if you ask me, I really like the reflex plus boost on settings. So NVIDIA Reflex settings isn't just a hype. It won't improve your aim gradually, but it will definitely help with input registry faster and make your movements very cleaner. The tiny edge in your high rank lobbies, that's what matters. So when I use the reflex off, the response time wasn't that much faster, you know. I felt like everything is slow and my aim is not at its peak or something. But when I used it on, it was slightly better. Of course, the response was more faster and I could aim better. But like I always use, even in my tournaments, which is on plus boost, that is the real magic. My response time is way faster and I can easily flick, shoot heads, and that helps me to play really good. So that is my go-to setting, and these are my real-time feedback on all these settings. So I would prefer you guys use either on or on plus boost. So if you have a RTX GPU, make sure you enable it and try it out, because NVIDIA gives you control, not a placebo.